Hello YouTube, today's video is going to be another quick one as I'm going to show you guys how I happen to transform this image from looking like this to this. And if you want to practice along, I will upload the PSD file on my Telegram channel. You guys can use the link under the description of this video and download the PSD file. And I got the inspiration of creating this image from one of the best photographers in Nigeria, that's Emmanuel Oheleke. From this image that I saw on his page, this image totally motivates me to go for that look. Actually, looking for inspiration is important in photography because it can help you to develop your own style and vision as a photographer. By seeking out other people's work as a photographer, you can gain and understand different techniques and understand different approach to composition, different approach to lighting and subject matter. This can also help you to expand your own creative horizons and develop new ideas for your photography career. So without saying too much, let's jump into the video. Alright, here we are back to our image. So going back to our layers, let's stretch it up so that we can visibly see our layers. So if you select the background for us to see the original from the image at its original state, we are just going to hold our Alt and then we click this this visible and invisible icon. So if you hold our Alt and click it, notice we are now seeing our original image. So basically what I did to this image is I first make sure I have a subject layer where I happen to do content aware and fill up the background above, and then by the side let me do before and after so that you can see before and after. As you can see what I have done here on my subject layer, and then after that what I did next is I just quickly add a plain blue background according to the color of her clothes. And then the next thing that I did is I also add sky layer. As you can see here, I add sky. What I did is, let me open the folder. As you can see, I just added sky and then I add layer mask to it. I had it and then I just revealed this part of the sky that I want it to be visible on my image, as you can see. So after the sky layer, what I did next is I add some shadows on the ground. As you can see, let's do before and after. And then for the next layer is I added plain color. It's also a black color fill layer, but as you can see it's not as black as the background. As you can see, before, after, before and after. And then also in between the darker and the brighter black, I also added blue fill layer. As you can see, it's just right there in between the two black layers, before, after, before and then after. So after that what I also did next is I add levels and bright of the image. But as you can see, according to layer mask, these black areas that you can see, I use black brush and make the levels effect invisible on my subject because I don't want the levels to be visible on my subject. Let me do before and after. Let me disable the layer mask before, after. As you can see, the subject is a bit brighter, but I use black brush and hide the effect of the levels on my subject here. And then what I also did next is I changed the color of her hair, this orange, and change it also to rhyme with the colors on the image. I change it to the blue of her clothes and the sky. As you can see, as you can see, after, before, after, before and after. So I just added hue and saturation, and then I select the reds and then I shift the hue, as you can see, until I reach to this color of blue, which I'm satisfied with. And then I invert the layer to black and then I use my white foreground of brush, and then I revealed the effect on the hair, which I wanted to change the color to blue. So let's also do again, before and after. Also on her clothes, as you can see, there is effect. Actually I use gel, but I feel like I don't want to work with the color of the gel anymore, so that's what I did on this layer. And then here above I added some flowers, as you can see. Let's make them visible. So these are the flowers, and then the layer below them I added shadow, as you can see. So let's open the shadow layer. So as you can see, I added the shadows separately, both by the left and the right hand side, as you can see. And then the folder of the flowers, I added flower, and on the flower I also added hue and saturation, which enables me to change the color and then the exposure of the flower. As you can see, I changed the hue, I tuned the hue, which gave me this color, and then I tuned down the brightness, the lightness of the flower down until I was satisfied with the brightness of the flower. And then I also take down the saturation to make it look less saturated. So that's basically what I did to all the flowers that you are seeing here on the image. And then the next thing that I did is I added this particle layer. As you can see, we are having dust particle. So what I did is I just dragged the overlay, and then I changed the blend mode to screen, as you can see. And then I add layer mask. I invert using Ctrl or Command I and hide it, and then I also use white brush and reveal just the areas where I want the particle to be visible above here, as you can see. And then I add cloud. So let me open the cloud layer. As you can see, I added them separately, as you can see. And then for the last thing that I did is I added these beds before and after. So basically that's just a quick overview of how I transform this image from looking like this to this. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a thumbs up, and also hit the subscribe button, as it makes a huge difference